egameni likaHlathikulu. Aqam simema umoya wakho ube ngaphakathi kwethu. Sizicela zonke izinto egameni likaHlathikulu. Thixo, Nkulunkulu, simema umoya wakho ube ngaphakathi kwethu. Sizicela zonke izinto egameni likaHlathikulu. Thixo, lo mkhubulwane, simema umoya wakho. Sizicela zonke izinto egameni likaHlathikulu. Camako.
Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse on YouTube, TikTok and the various groups from around the world subsequently. A very warm welcome to Lord Hanuman, also known as Hlathikulu in the Sun Nation. So today, in a world first, we are celebrating the birth of one deity that is being worshipped by two distinct cultures, one almost extinct, but through the grace of the deity himself, we are re-engaging with the Absolute for that nation to become a vibrant cultural, spiritual, religious and political nation once again in the forthcoming years. So I welcome the Crown Prince of the San and the forthcoming Prince of the Hlathikulu kingdom. I welcome you, Prince, and do not be disappointed that your whole 6 million San Nation is not behind you here today at the ashram. Do not be disappointed. 1 billion Sanatan Dharmis that exist around the world today are still in confusion. So there's no difference that when we are reactivating or actuating the San Nation into its absolute identity, on the flip side of the coin, Sanatan Dharmis are still as far as the San Nation in reality, is it not? There's just a handful of Sanatan Dharmis who know who they are. And there's also just a handful of the San people who know who they are. And this is a direct result of colonization. The minds of Sanatan Dharmis are still colonized. They think in English. They think in English. They think in a language. They're supposed to think in a culture. So similarly, the San dispersed to all parts of southern Africa through slavery, colonization, Christianization, they are also confused. They are also confused. Come in, and today around South Africa, Africa, around the world, wherever there are temples, they will be celebrating Hanuman Jayanti. But their celebration is just in terms of keeping the culture, keeping the tradition, keeping the dressing. But if you ask people, who was Hanumanji? What was his purpose on this earth? Where is he now? You're not going to get an answer. No answer. Just song, dance, paraphernalia. And some of them, if you ask them, they'll tell you, I am Hanuman Baba. Give me a pole and I'll show you. So I asked them to come with the poles today. I asked them to come with the poles today. I do not see any Hanuman Babas around. Alright? Because I see these Hanuman Babas in pubs on Wednesdays, eating pork, sausage, half a nip, Smirnoff, and Saturdays they climb the pole. You understand? The real Hanuman Baba don't come from that culture. The real Hanuman Baba is absolutely pure. He's a brahmachari. Yes or no? Then how does he come in your pork sausage, in your half a nip, in your beer, on Wednesday, and on Saturday, somehow your tongue hangs out, you climb a pole, and you are now Hanuman Baba. So I tried it, Prince. I myself tried it. Where's Mataji? Okay, she's in the kitchen. So many years ago, I used to get very sick. And I resigned from the police force and I started the journeys that most of you have made, from temple to temple. And I landed in one temple in Stanger. And he said, Hanuman Baba is very strong in you. Prince, he said, Hanuman Baba is very, very strong in you. I think Sean was 2 years or 3 years at that point in time. So he said, you must come next week and I'll open Hanuman Baba in you. What he'll do, Prince? You must learn these tricks, Prince. When I'm not around, they'll tell you Hlathikulu is very, very strong in them. I don't know, Hanuman Baba climbs bamboos. I don't know what trees Hlathikulu climb, but just hear my discourses properly. When I leave, nobody must be able to tell you they get in a Hlathikulu trance. All right? So, he told me, come next Sunday. It was a long drive to Stanger. And I went. I was so happy, Prince, that he's going to open my trance. Not an ordinary trance, Prince. Superman trance, Hanuman Baba. So I went there that morning, I think an hour earlier, and I waited and waited and waited, and he brought out a turntable. You know what's a turntable, Prince? Okay, you from the younger generation. LPs, they used to play LPs. You know what's LPs, Prince? On an old type of record player. And then they put the Hanuman Chalisa and all these bhajans what Premila is singing. Premila is coming from the old school. Same bhajans what Premila is singing was being sung on those LPs. And I waited. He said, just close your eyes and listen, shake with the rhythm of the music, and your trance will be opened. And I shook. And I tried to open that trance. I pulled, I pushed. You can ask Mataji. And I'm still pulling and pushing today, Prince. 30 years later, Hanuman Baba has not arrived. And I'm sitting on this big seat now, Prince. And if Hanuman Baba could not arrive after 30 years, I'm sitting on this big seat. I don't know how Hanuman Baba is arising on this half a nip, one quart, pork sausage around the world, around the country. I don't know, Prince. Guru is still waiting. The LP is still playing. Premila sang to the best. Hanuman Baba doesn't want to open up. Premila, if you can't open my Hanuman Baba, who can, Premila? Mama nearly get fired. Mummy gave him that Kali look. His Hanuman ran away. So on a more serious note, don't believe in nonsense. Don't believe in nonsense. Hanuman Baba came to take you to your Guru. That is all. That is all. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja. That is all. He came to teach you how to get a Guru. Not to make funny face, puff your chest out, breathe heavy, blow your cheeks out. And on that topic, you know Vishwadhar, Prince? You know him? Yatin. His incognito name is Yatin. His spiritual name is Vishwadhar. On my private chat, he sent me a before and after photograph of his six-pack. And he wrote 6 on my private chat. He showed me his six-pack and he wrote 6. So I gave him a 6er. I put it on the group chat. And if Hemita can assist me, it can go on TikTok. So I think he was trying to show us his Hanuman chest. Because Hanuman Baba himself got a 6-pack. But he was moving mountains. The day Vishwadhar moves an ant, I'll qualify him. Alright, Prince? So look at how beautiful the celebration of Hanuman Jayanti is at the Sri Narayan Dham. It's an auspicious day. It is an auspicious day. It's a great day. This day will be remembered in history, where two distinct cultures worship the same entity. 5 years from today, Prince, on this day, you will be worshipping in your own temple. You will be worshipping in your own language. You will be worshipping in your own tradition. And your nation will be with you. So don't feel disappointed. Your scriptures need to be reintroduced. It has to be collated and reintroduced. So you celebrating this day at the ashram because you understand that there is no difference between Hanuman Baba and Hlathikulu. But your nation does not. And up until the time we remove the ignorance from your nation, and you can only remove ignorance, Prince, through knowledge. You can only remove ignorance through knowledge, which means we have to fast track our Hlathikulu primary, secondary and tertiary education. It means we have to fast track. So put simply, how many sides does a prism have? Prism, how many sides? Okay, whilst you all are thinking how many sides in a prism, I just noticed Vasudeva, Prince's twin brother. So I think about this time, Vasudeva, 24 hours ago, we were sitting with former President Zuma. So there were a whole lot of people waiting outside, about 15 to 20 people, and I didn't want to be selfish, and I wanted to expedite that meeting. So I asked the President if we could take a few photographs with him. So he was seated like this, and then he looked at Vasan. Jessica was there, and he said, "Let's go into the light." You'll see some photos taken right at his royal seat, and you'll see when we took photos of Vasan, it's in a different location, because even Zuma whacked him. Even President Zuma whacked him. All right? We had a very, very divine meeting with a divine personality. I said 2 years ago, if you take all the politicians and place them in a line, then President Zuma is a saint. I meant it 2 years ago. I put my neck on the block as a public entity, and yesterday, I think, Jessica, we experienced. we experienced. And in that brief meeting, he volunteered to join the Narayan Dham in our Oneness and Social Cohesion program at the age of 80. And he gave us a talk. Just quick background. I think it took 10 to 12 minutes, 10 minutes. And he said that as a young boy, all he ever wanted was social cohesion. He got involved in politics, he was a president, but his desire for social cohesion and oneness is not quenched yet. And that opens many doors for us, Prince. And he has stated, and I think it was a verbal contract, that we are going to get involved very, very deeply in repairing the wounds of South Africans. And I hope to have him seated and involved in our truth and reconciliation between the San Nation and the rest of society, whoever ruled South Africa. And I'm sure it's going to happen. I'm sure he's going to. And it was on the eve of Hanuman Jayanti. On the eve of Hanuman Jayanti. So, Prince, according to your scriptures and according to your astrology, that divine things are actuated in full moon. And today is full moon, so it covers the Hlathikulu side and it covers the Sanatan Dharmis side. So the significance of Hanuman Baba, what is the significance of Hanuman Baba? Pramila, cooking hundreds of rots. Who else cooked hundreds of rots? Hands up. No hands want to go up. Okay, who cooked 10 rots? Who cooked 5 rots? Shireen, put your hand up, don't fright, be brave, be honest. Okay? Guru didn't play with the rots. Guru didn't play with the rod. I enjoyed them with my tea. Yes, Pramila? Yes. I asked Pramila, where's your rod? Okay. That's not the significance. That is not the significance. What is the significance of the appearance of Hanuman Baba in the Ramayana? What you can learn from Hanuman Baba's life whilst he was on this earth. He teaches you how to be fully devoted to the Supreme Lord. He even tears his chest and what you find in his heart. If I have to tear all your chests open, what will I find there? Tell me, what will I find there? Mama?
Guruji, we find Guruji.
Pramila has been taking lessons from Tiveshni. If Pramila is on Guruji's side, it means she has a issue to be resolved. Tiveshni, are you understanding? When you tear your heart, you was only supposed to see the Lord, Rakesh Bhai. Only the Lord. That is what Hanuman Baba came down on earth to teach you to have faith. to teach you to have faith. Faith is an energy within yourself. Yes or no? Faith is an energy within yourself. Everything is energy. If you had the right eyes, you would see mathematical, geometrical energy equations taking place right around you. As I'm speaking, you would have seen equations, frequencies, wavelengths. If you had the right eyes, everything is energy, and faith in the Supreme Lord is super positive energy, because the Lord is positive. If you repose your energy into the energy of the Supreme Lord, then you will have an umbilical cord, and what will flow through that cord? You repose the faith, and the Lord reposes His energy into you. All of you understand? And this is what Hanuman Baba came to teach you. And how do we prove that Hanuman Baba is Hlathikulu in the Sand Nation? We have to prove evidentially. How do we prove? How do we prove? What does sand mean in Sanskrit? Connection to a higher power, a higher intelligence, a higher understanding. That is what sand means in Sanskrit. All of you understand? And is faith not a personification of Hanuman Baba? Does he not personify faith in the Ramayana? Is he not that faith between you and the Supreme Lord? You understand? So let's understand the story of the Ramayana and see how it fits in our everyday life. What does Sita represent in the Ramayana? Mama, what does your Sita represent in your little Ramayana? Answer, Mama. I won't be able to help you. As it is, you're in trouble. Sita represents love, happiness, and prosperity. Prosperity. Let's break down prosperity in its correct understanding. Prince, it's not money. Prosperity is not money. It is a state of being in all dimensions, and it starts from your moral and ethical character. Moral and ethical character. And you'll find whoever is morally correct and ethically correct, then they are always prosperous in everything. They might not have a bank balance that you are desiring, but by the character and personality being prosperous, they tend to exude prosperity to everyone else. Have you all found people like this? Have you all found people like this? Then, what is the opposite of prosperity? An immoral and unethical character, yes? If prosperity is moral and ethical, then the opposite of prosperity will be immoral and unethical. So when a moral person's character is kidnapped, what happens to that character of that person? There is a perception of an unethical and immoral person. Yes or no? And how do you kidnap the ethics and morality of a person? By casting false narratives. By casting false narrative. So the reservoir of morality and the reservoir of ethics will be found where? In divinity. Yes? Yes? Where will the reservoir of false narratives be found? In the reservoir of a demonic personality. Yes or no? A righteous person will never cast aspersions. A divine person will never cast as aspersions. He will tell you the truth. A divine person will tell you the truth. A non-divine person will use lies to make you appear what they really are. Yes? A non-divine person will create a narrative in which they project their own reality. All of you understand? So, the demonic, which is Ravana, remove the Sita, which is prosperity, and he kept it to create a false narrative. Yes? And it was Hanuman Baba who assisted in recovering Sita, who is the origin of morality, of ethics, of divinity. Are you understanding? And this is ongoing. This is ongoing. It doesn't stop. And this is what happened to former President Zuma. His Sita was kidnapped by the colonial masters through a false narrative because they own the media houses. They own the media houses. They can create these false narratives. And once a false narrative is implanted in your mind, it is very, very difficult to uproot it with the truth. No matter how much of the truth you can go and speak, when President Zuma was called a gangster, you remember? When he was called the mafia, the ringleader, and the state capturer, he did not capture a state. What does state capture mean? You think him and a few Indians can capture a state? You understand? You ever thought about the word state capture? But it was a narrative that was created by the colonial masters. It has a good ring to it. The president stole the state. Has a good ring to it. But don't we have Chapter 9 institutions in this country? If President Zuma had captured the state, you think Shabir Sheikh would have went to prison? Jessica? Did Shabir Sheikh go to prison? So it means the state wasn't captured. How many ANC executive members went to prison? Tony Yengeni, was he not a prominent ANC member? Did he go to prison? Yes, in President Zuma's time. So was the state captured? Because if you have to capture the state, there's 4 pillars in a democracy. You have to capture all the pillars. What are the pillars, Jessica? Legislature, judiciary, media. Media. Who is running the media from Nelson Mandela's time and before Nelson Mandela? Who? The colonial masters. They own all the media houses. So this state could never have been captured by President Zuma and a couple of Charos, Guptas. You understand? I'm going to give a discourse on President Zuma and the Guptas and clear this false narrative. I want to take Sita back. And synthesize former President Zuma's character into who he really is. Can you see how Ravnas work? Can you see how the demonic work? You can see. Today I went to the police station and I signed 2 warning statements. I'm a suspect in 2 cases. I am a suspect in 2 false cases. 2 false cases. Which means somebody is attempting to steal my Sita. Whoever attempts to steal Sita Where is that person anchored, in which reservoir? In Ravana's reservoir. Somebody is trying to steal my Sita, not you, Sita. Not you, Sita, you not my Sita. I rather commit suicide than say you are my Sita, Sita. Guru joking, Sita. But somebody is trying to steal the Guru's morality, the Guru's ethics, the Guru's credentials. Somebody wants the Guru to be immoral, unethical. And what you think Hanuman Baba is going to do? He'll move mountains for the Guru. Move mountains for the Guru. And I also had a flashback when I was a policeman and when I was making suspect sign. Prince, there was a lot of noise in the room. There was a lot of noise in that room. I had a beautiful flashback of being a policeman once again. So this will happen in your life, this will happen in my life. It is part of the material world. The Ramayana was not created 2 million years ago. Hanuman Baba took his birth exactly on this day 2 million years ago. But look at how relevant the Ramayana is in your life and my life. So making wrought is a tradition. It is a culture and it must carry on. It must carry on. But it doesn't end. It doesn't end in the wrought. Offering a wrought to Hanuman Baba is not going to take anything away from you. Find a Guru and have faith in that Guru. And that Guru will lead you to the Lord. Then that wrought is going to have value. Just taking wrought, placing it there, no value. Because Hanuman Baba didn't say, Shri wrought Sarojaraja. Hanuman Baba said, Shri Guru Charana Sarojaraja. There's no wrought written there. There is no wrought written in the Hanuman Chalisa anywhere. He said, Bhoot and Pisaj. So if you are troubled by evils, if you are troubled by demons, like I'm being charged, demons, then if I recite the Hanuman Chalisa, the evils and the demons will disappear. Okay? You understand? If you follow any deity, we have 330 million Devis and Devtas. You can follow any of the 330 million Devis and Devtas. Go and research the one you love the most. Don't say, me, I'm a staunch Hanuman devotee, and eat a nip and eat a pork sausage. Because that deity does not want you to do that. Do you understand? Don't associate yourself with a deity if you are not in line with what that deity wants. Do you understand? You can be how staunch you want. Hanuman Baba is also very, very staunch. He don't want beer, he don't want half a nip, he don't want pork sausages. He is absolutely staunch. Alright, so you staunch on this side, and he staunch on that side, and what's happening in between? Nothing. You wasted your whole life. Then next we know you're going through the ghat in ashes. Accomplished? Accomplished? Zero. This is why we say Sanatan Dharma is the library for humanity. Sanatan Dharma is the library for humanity. What does library mean? It means there's information. So you can choose your own deity, any deity you love, and be in compliance with the prescriptions of that deity. And any one of you that repeats the Hanuman Chalisa continuously, he is here. He is here. He is on earth. He is on earth. He promised to be on earth and take care of every devotee of the Supreme Lord. So if you have the Lord in your heart, you have the protection of Hanuman Baba. That is why he is here. All of you understand? So within the jokes, you know, Guru like to joke, and Guru's jokes are always like a sword into fire, and then into you, and twisted. And twisted, so that when you go home, you learnt something. You learnt something. So I want to quickly summarize what Hanuman Baba can do for you. He can give you back your integrity. He can give you back what was taken, Prince. Does he not show it in the Ramayana? Did he not bring back and get involved in the recovery of Sita? Is he not involved in that bridge that is from your scripture? And your descendants, were they not involved in assisting to build that bridge? Were they? They were involved. And it is your descendants from 2 million years ago, of which you are the only surviving direct link. Only you link back the DNA to the Sand Nation all the way back to the Ramayana. So this is why I said today is very, very significant. It is also very historical, because from here, every year of Hanuman Jayanti, it's just going to grow. And I'm sure, Prince, this discourse is flighted around the world, and my brothers in India will going to be in awe. They're going to be in shock that a lost nation is now re-emerging through common deities found between the Sand Nation and Sanatan Dharma. Are there any questions? So please, all these stories were enacted by the Supreme Lord himself. He didn't send humans to enact his stories, because humans will make mistakes. They will cheat. Humans make mistakes. Do they cheat? Do they perceive? Yes? And are they in illusion? So this is why the Supreme Lord enacted all these epics himself. self, so that you can take a lesson from the epics and use it in your daily life. All right, Vasan? Don't let anyone steal your Sita. Jai Shriman Narayan.